What's up guys, it's your boy Ethan, hope you're having a great day. Welcome back to another video, and we're back at Encore. When I mean that we're back, I mean this is actually the same day that I busted from the 500K guarantee. We're back playing another tournament because we love the tournament grind, and there's no better feeling than trying to run deep in a tournament. So there's a 15K guarantee that started earlier today at 2 p.m. Right now it's about 4 p.m. and we're playing it at $240 buy-in, and we're gonna late reg, see what happens. I'm just in a tournament feeling mode, so I busted from the 500K earlier today. I went home, edited a video, and now we're playing another one. So I'm gonna get into the action there, late reg, play a little bit more shallow stacked, which is helpful for me because just not good at playing deep stack tournament poker. And anyways, we're gonna get into some of the hands. Still sitting with the full 25K, haven't even paid the blinds yet. I opened up the action to 2,500, normal 2.5x. There's a late position player who also just late regged and a kind of a similar size stack. He 3-bets us to 6K. It folds to me, and here pocket nines out of position. I don't love playing 3-bet pots out of position with this hand. It's really hard to navigate flops, so let's rip it in. One of the first hands, let's try to find a double real quick. So I go ahead and jam. He calls with ace king of spades, and we are off to a flop and a flip. Flop comes ace high, unfortunately, but it's ace 9-3 2 clubs. Middle set is pretty good for us. He's basically drawing dead. The turn comes the king. Brings in the good old sweat. We got to fade some cards here on the river. River is a blank. It's a 4. So we kind of double up, and we're sitting on 50,000 chips.
HR and WS on break.
We're on break right now, play for about 20 minutes, and well, we already doubled our stack. One of the first hands that we got, pocket nines under the gun before we even had to pay the blinds, which is pretty cool. Flopped the set versus ace king, a little bit of a sweat, so we held there, so that was nice. And we are sitting at around just under 50K, so about 48,000 in our stack right now. I think the average stack's around 36K, 35K, somewhere around there. So off to a good start. We're gonna see what happens. Late reg ends in about 5 minutes whenever this break ends, and we're gonna get rolling. So hopefully we can run deep in this thing. Really feeling like the tournament grind right now. The other tournament, 500K, is still going on, and I think there's like 50 people left in that, so that's pretty cool to have 2 tournaments going on. But we found the double up we needed early on, going to 1,200 blinds now, and we can see what happens. So wish us luck, and let's get back into the action. Next spot in level 9, blinds are 600, 1,200, 1,200. We look down at Jack 5 offsuit in the big blind. It's a 3-way limped pot. Jack 5, obviously, let's see a flop. The flop is pretty great for us. It's a 3-5-5 rainbow. And here when I'm first to act, I just check. It checks to an early position limper who bets 2,000. Here, trip 5's out of position on a rainbow board. Let's just slow play this and set the trap for now. So I call 2,000, and we're going to a turn. Turn comes the queen of hearts, brings in a backdoor flush draw, and once again I check. He throws out a bet of 4,000. I decide to check raise to a sizing of 11,000. He thinks about it and makes the call. So let's try to fade a heart on the river, see a blank, and definitely can blast off here. The river is the ace of clubs. So I think about what kind of sizing I should be throwing out here for value. I ended up settling on a sizing of 15,000. I wanted to go a lot larger and polarize myself, but I really didn't think I'd get too many calls from one pair of hands if I went larger. So 15,000. He thinks about it, makes the call. We show our hand and expect him to be good, but he shows us pocket queens. He flat called with pocket queens, and that's a gift. We're alive. Never saw that one coming. It was a limped pot. So we limped with pocket queens, drilled the turn, and we're still alive in this tournament somehow.
Mike, 1-3. Hold on, Mike, 1-3.
Hey guys, quick break in this video to give a huge shout out to the poker app that I'm affiliated with, Poker Bros. Once again, going to be giving shout outs to the most recent round of tournament winners and big tournament banks. So I'm definitely going to be going over this. So if you want more information on how to play and get in on the action and get in on some of these tournaments, go ahead and email me down below, orampage@gmail.com. Or if you have the app already, the app's called Poker Bros. You can join the club ID here. So first off, huge shout out to Dominic or Donktastic for banking one of these $5 tournaments. $5 daily tournaments sometimes can get pretty huge, as the first place took down $997, so almost $1,000 from a $5 buy-in. Next, a regular here, Nay, has been crushing it. McNasty, huge shout out to you for placing second in a tournament. I think it was a $25 tournament for $4,900. What are you doing, Nay? You keep crushing these tournaments. It's absolutely crazy. Next, huge congratulations to Jacob Chiefs for placing in second place in another one of those daily tournaments for $962. Huge shout out to you. And he followed up that performance by placing 6th in another pretty big tournament, a $25 tournament, 6th place for just over $1,800. So huge shout out to you for running deep in both of these tournaments back to back. Last but not least, we've got Texas Donk here for winning a PLO 5 tournament for $1,700. I don't know how you did it. I don't know how you even play a PLO 5 tournament, but you took this one down for a fat amount. So huge shout out to you, Texas Donk. Huge shout out to all the players that have played so far. And if you do bank a tournament or have a deep run in a tournament, definitely feel free to send me these screenshots to be included in the next round of shoutouts. So if you want to get on the action, go ahead, feel free to email me or join this club ID right here, and I will see you guys on the tables. Next spot in level 10, blinds are 800, 1600, 1600, and we're sitting with only 28K in front of us. We have a friendly guest on this table by the name of Sherwin. He is a tournament pro here in the Northeast area, so he's at our table. He opens it up to 3,500. A middle position player calls this 3,500 and actions onto me. Here, you're just going to ship it with pocket 8s in the big blind, so I go ahead and ship it. Sherwin folds, and the middle position player calls with ace-queen offsuit. We're off to another flip. Hopefully we can win this one as well. And the flop comes Jack 7-3, clean for us. The turn is a deuce, and the river is a king. So we hit all the face cards that we needed to fade, so that was nice, and find ourselves with a decent sized stack again.
At 7:10 p.m., 7:10 p.m.
Next hand, still in level 10, we pick up pocket 4s on the button. Sherwin, who's under the gun, limps, folds to me, and I limp on the button, and both blinds call, limp, whatever. We're off to a flop 4 ways, which comes king, deuce, 3, 2 hearts, and a spade out there. Action checks to the unnamed player Sherwin, who bets 3,000. Pocket 4 is not a great spot, but very player specific and exploitative. He's been shown to be bluffing a lot and be super active, so I call the 3,000, assuming that we're good here a lot of the time against his range, and the blinds fold. So going to a turn, which comes the king of spades, brings in the backdoor flush draw, 2 kings out there. Now he checks to us and slows down. Pocket 4s, assuming that we're actually going to be ahead of a lot of hands. He's probably drawing a lot of the time, so I bet 6,500 for value with pocket 4s, and he snap calls, so it doesn't seem like he has too strong of a hand here when he doesn't even think about it. So going to a river, which comes the 5 of diamonds, assumingly a brick a lot of the time. He bets 15K, and definitely a mediocre spot to be in, but it's a pretty standard call against a specific player, and given the history that I've seen in the past, so I call, he mucks his hand, and we are good. A few levels later in level 12, we look down at 10-9 of hearts in middle position with 60K in our stack. I open up the action to 6,000, and we get one player on the cutoff to call, and this blinds call as well, so 4 ways to a flop, which comes 9-6-3 rainbow with 1 heart out there. Flopping top pair, it's not really the best board in the world, but it's good enough. But before we can even act, the big blind just rips it all in, covering the entire table. What the hell is going on here? I tank because, like, it seems so strong, but, like, how is this ever for value? How is someone ever jamming 200K in the middle when there's only, like 20K, 30K in the middle right now at this point? I'm not really sure, like 4-5 of hearts, 4-5 of spades, whatever the hell it's on the board. I don't know. But I fold 10-9. It's the easy standard fold, but just really not sure what to make of the situation. Everyone else folds, so we don't get to see what happened, but I just thought that was a really weird thing to happen, and I'd love to hear your thoughts about this. Like, I guess he could be really strong with a set or something like that, but I don't know why someone's jamming 200K in a pot with 30K. Still in level 12, on the gun, we look down at aces. That's what we want to see. I open up the action to 6K. On the +1 is a pretty competent reg at Encore, makes the call. He's a pretty good player, so definitely going to be battling with him here out of position. Flop comes 8, deuce, deuce, 2 clubs out there. And this is just a really safe flop for us. Even though we don't have the ace of clubs, he can have a lot of flush draws. So I check, assuming he's going to be betting this a lot of the time. He bets 15K, and here I don't want to be calling. I want to be check raising a lot simply because of how short I am. If I was deeper with maybe 60K behind, I absolutely would go for I would absolutely just call this. But considering with only 45,000 in our whole stack, I'm just going to check raise, normal 3x this, and jam. He tanks and ends up folding, so we'll take this one down. Let me know what you thought about this line as well. Would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. I wanted to maximize value here. I just couldn't rationalize the decision of just flat calling this bet on the flop out of position here, especially since I have 45,000 in our stack. I wanted to get maximum value. Maybe I got it. I'm not entirely sure, but would love to hear your thoughts on this.
Oh, well, you know what? He got arrested for it.
Really did not expect to be in this position right now. So there's 40 people left. We're in break number 2, and top 18 get paid. So not 40 people left. There's actually 36. They broke it down to 4 tables now, so just half the field needs to bust, and we make the money, and we could min cash. Didn't expect to be in this position where I had 8 big blinds at the lowest after somehow surviving with trip 5s, and the guy just boated up on the turn there with queens very unexpectedly. But here we are, we're in it, so we're gonna see what happens. We have if I didn't mention it already, there's a guy named Sherwin who is a well-known poker player, well-known tournament player in the Northeast around here, and he's at the table literally destroying it. He was running people over. I think he's stacked like at least 8 people now that I've been at this table, and I've only been playing for about 2 hours. So stacking people left and right. He's been on a tear, but we've been involved with him a few times and luckily been on the right side of it. So it's gonna be a pretty tough table. I'm the shortest stack at my table actually, so just gonna try to survive, chip up maybe here and there. That's about it, so we'll see what happens. We chip down, lose a few small pots, and here now in level 14, blinds are 2, 4, 4, and I'm sitting with 55K in the spot. I look down at ace-jack offsuit in the small blind. An early position player, Sherwin, he's still on our table here, opens up the action to 8,500. The player to my direct right, the button, makes the call of 8,500, and here ace-jack offsuit, so short. We jam, we stick it all in. The early position player, Sherwin, could definitely have a wide opening range, so not really too concerned about that. So when Sherwin folds, the button thinks about it and actually makes the call. We're up against queen 10 of spades, so we're ahead. Let's just try to hold and win this one. The flop comes 9-3-5 rainbow. The turn comes the good old 7 of spades, bringing in a sweat for us. Gotta fade a 10, a queen, and a spade. The river comes the king of clubs, and we scoop this one. Double up once again, sitting at about 125K and almost back to average stack. This hand here, we're actually short-handed. A bunch of players busted, so we're playing 6-handed with pocket queens. We're 2 away from the money, and blinds are 3, 6, 6, and I'm sitting with about 157K. Under the gun. Pocket queens going to be opening this for sure, especially short-handed as well. Such a premium hand. I open up to 15K and we get 1 caller in the big blind. So going to a flop. Flop comes king queen 10 rainbow. Middle set on such a wet board. When he checks to us, I'm going to be sizing up here since there's just all the draws in the world on this board and I have such a strong hand. I bet 25K. He check raises us to 100K. Not much of a decision here. Obviously, with middle set, if we're behind, we're going to hope to boat up. So I go ahead and just jam for not too much more, and obviously he's calling. We show we're up against king-jack offsuit against top pair and open-ended straight draw. The turn is good for us. It's an 8, and the river is a 9, and we bust out of this one. 2 away from the money. That one hurt with middle set. Fuck. Just, God, I don't know what to say. 5 hours of playing in the tournament, and we were 2 away from the money, and we flop a set, and that happened. So there's not a lot for me to say about this intro because I've already actually recorded 2 intros or 2 outros today, because I've busted out of 2 tournaments today. Busting out of 1 live tournament is not fun, but busting out of 2 in 1 day, not great at all. So that's it. I have nothing meaningful to say right now because I'm just so frustrated, so annoyed, so mad at the whole thing. I felt like, I guess like the only thing I can say is that like I'm actually pretty happy with how I played this tournament. I ran pretty well. I picked up a lot of cards, which is awesome. Just, you know, didn't work out, but I think like my overall play, a lot of hands, a lot of spots, a lot of folds that you guys didn't see obviously, I think I did pretty well with tightening my range and navigating through the tournament field, especially late regging, so that was pretty cool. So there's that. That's the only positive takeaway for today. Besides that, I'm pretty annoyed and frustrated because I busted out of 2 tournaments in 1 freaking day. But that's all I have for now. Thank you guys for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. I might play a lot more tournaments because these were super fun, and I'm not saying that I have a clue or I'm starting to get a hang of it, but I'm starting to get a hang of it. Anyways, thanks for watching. Leave a like. A lot of pain. Feels bad right now. And maybe we'll find a better cash next time. Peace.